Next, we have the report and recommendation of the Stormwater Advisory Commission. Lots of stormwater today. Oh, yeah.
Good afternoon, Madam Mayor, council members. Appreciate the opportunity to come before you today. We are going to present the Stormwater Management Advisory Commission's annual report and proposed work plan for this fiscal year. I have with me the Reverend Jamon Taylor, who is the chair of the Stormwater Management Advisory Commission, as well as I'd like to acknowledge Graham Smith, the vice chair, is with us here today. And I will now turn it over to Father Taylor to present the remainder of this report. Father Taylor.
Thank you, Wayne. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Just a little bit about SMAC. You see before you our mission statement, which is to be the smartest stormwater program possible to economically and equitably achieve our mission. So a little bit about fiscal year 23 work plan priorities. We'll advise staff on sustainable development projects and water quality programs for streams and lakes. We'll continue to support watershed planning and asset management, assist with CIP and drainage system policy implementation. You heard about that a little bit earlier with CHAS. Incorporating equity and inclusion consideration into stormwater policies and programs. This is one of the things as chair that I've really been an advocate for. How can we better engineer equity into our framework, looking at different socioeconomic status folk, as well as those neighborhoods that have not been or received the amount of investment that other communities have as well. How can that be a part of our framework so that the programs we offer are open to all? And then provide guidance for UDOs, and then spread education awareness for stormwater, water quality, and then flood management. So that's what our plan for 23. Some of the projects that we've been working on, we've done 2 CIPs with engineering scopes, and design contracts have been signed for that. As far as drainage assistance, SMAC has approved 10 projects that total a little bit above $1.8 million. We have 39 projects approved, or that we approved, or that were approved in 22. That value almost $250,000, and then 41 of those projects have been completed this year. And the image to your right is the Silver Cell stormwater device at John Chavis Memorial Park. And as someone who is in Southeast Raleigh, I'm proud that John Chavis Park is a shining example of how stormwater and design can come together to benefit not only the community but also the environment. Also, under stream restoration and water quality, more than $2 million in grants funded for water quality projects. Under GSI, what we've done in 22, the Walnut Creek subsurface gravel wetland is an example, the Glenwood Avenue bioretention, and then the Glen Eden pilot project, park bioretention, which the picture is to the right, and then the Peterson Street linear bioretention, which is also near the Walnut Creek Wetland Center. And then under programs and policies, just to update you, we supported equity and inclusion in our ARPA-funded projects. We reviewed different stormwater rate fee options to increase the level of service that we can offer, supported staff in enhancing and expanding storm and flood mitigation efforts and technology, and that has proved beneficial this year because of the number of large storms we've had, and then we've adopted and implemented floodplain regulations. We provided input to the watershed master planning process. We approved the Upper Durant Lake project, that $750,000 grant, and then supported municipal MS4 programs of audit and implementation, and then provided recommendations for the advancement of green stormwater infrastructure in Raleigh. I want to say, as chairs, just give a gratitude to all of you, Raleigh City Council, for your support of stormwater, and also just wanted to say how much of a pleasure it is to work with Raleigh stormwater staff. They are tremendous and have really helped us as we, again, try to come up with an equity framework as we try to be stormwater smart. I'll answer any questions. Either I or Wayne can answer questions.
Any questions? Councilmember Branch?
Definitely, thank you for the presentation and all of your hard work and everything. I'm gonna put the same request to you all that I put to the staff. when we talk about stormwater, construction runoff is a major issue. If there's anything, any ideas that you all can see or come up with that we can better improve how we address, that stormwater runoff from these construction sites, that would be definitely, I think, helpful.
That's something, I've been on SMAC for 3 years. That's something, at least since I've been on, we've concentrated. What I say is that when we look at flooding, particularly in areas that historically flood, not only are we battling climate change, but what I call non-climate stressors, which is construction. And if you look at a place like Walnut Creek, was at that low-lying 40 square mile watershed, the more impervious surfaces that are built upstream, because Walnut Creek begins in Cary, then the more water that flows in already flood-prone areas. So stormwater with Wayne Miles leading the city's effort has been very responsible, and we continue to see what we can do, particularly around planning and not only looking at how stormwater impacts construction locally, but what's the impact 100, 1,000, a mile downstream.
Okay. And one last thing, thank you. You mentioned something, and also if our staff, I'm sure you are, but continue to work with our other partners, because as you say, water coming from Cary that impacts that same stormwater, the water stream, it matters. So if we can work with our other municipal partners, I think it will be greatly appreciated to those that are even further south than us.
Okay. Councilmember Knight?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yeah, as a liaison to SMAC, I just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate and we appreciate all the work that SMAC has continued to do through COVID, all the work that y'all have gotten done. This really shows a lot in the earlier presentation by staff, so thank you, Dr. Taylor and Mr. Smith, for y'all's leadership, and also to Mr. Miles for staff working with SMAC on this. I love to see green stormwater infrastructure front and center. Hopefully that will continue to be even more a priority for us as a city as we move forward. So thank you very much.
Anything else? Good work.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we